It was one of those rare occasions when the junior golf leaderboard is filled, every head turned due to the ideal circumstances and a name that was so well known. The cameras were looking for history, not simply rolling. Charlie Woods then gave it to me in a matter of hours. The first tee was walked on by the son of one of the best golfers in history. And the golf world had a whole new headline by the time he left the 18th green. It wasn't simply another victory for the juniors. This was the innovation. Charlie seemed to have a crisp, composed, and brave game from the beginning of the competition. The same carefree pace that fans remember from his father's heyday was there in every swing. However, there was a noticeable mark of uniqueness. He made consecutive birdies, persevered through the unavoidable difficulties, and ended with a commanding but subpar finish. It was a statement rather than a squeaker. One message was made very obvious when they won by a number of strokes on a pitch full of the nation's top young players. Charlie Woods is not trying to fit in. His goal is to triumph. The impact was felt right away. His standing in the junior world rankings skyrocketed overnight, propelling him into the discussion for the most coveted forthcoming competitions in the sport. Any teen's career might change as a result of this. It meant entering the limelight that has been waiting for the Tiger Woods son ever since he picked up a club. Directors of the tournament took note. As invitations to elite championships started rolling in, supporters started making predictions about what would happen next. However, the mood was the true story, not the statistics or the awards. Every hole was followed by crowds. The media waited in queue for quotes, and his presence was noticed by other players. Charlie accomplished more than merely win a championship in a single weekend. He changed the story. The issue of whether he would ever be able to rise beyond his father's shadow persisted for years. Following this historic performance, the golf community now had their response. Just as the festivities were coming to a close, another voice joined in. It wasn't just any voice either. It was Jack Nicklaus, the Golden Bear himself, who is more knowledgeable than most about what it's like to rule golf and endure constant public scrutiny. Nicklaus delivered a caution in contrast to the applause of others. His remarks were based on a lifetime of seeing the game, the renown, and the weight that accompanies it, not on cynicism or uncertainty. Nicklaus warned that the path ahead is difficult. He wasn't just discussing competition. He was referring to the fights that are unseen and cannot be scored on a scorecard. The path is never only about talent for the offspring of a sports legend. It's about suffering never-ending scrutiny, unachievable standards, and continual comparisons. Even the most gifted young athletes may be broken by these difficulties if they are unprepared, as Nicklaus is aware. Nicklaus's caution wasn't only a warning. It originated from a very private spot. Gary, his own son, rose to popularity at the age of 16 decades before, shown with the big title, The Next Nicklaus, on the Sports Illustrated cover. That event turned out to be a turning point, and not in a good way. Rather than the beginning of a famous career, everything became too much, including the strain, the constant monitoring, and the feeling that every swing was being watched closely. After a while, Gary left the competitive grind, evidence that having skill by itself does not shield you from the pressure of expectations. For this reason, Nicklaus finds Charlie's moment to be both risky and inspirational. His talent is shown by the triumph, the focus on the difficulty that lies ahead. Furthermore, the intensity is increased beyond anything Gary has ever experienced in the modern period, when social media magnifies every highlight, error, and viewpoint. Charlie's ascent is indisputable, but so is the attention. Both a warning and a gift are included in Nicklaus's comments. A reminder that perseverance is just as important on the road to success as a golf club. Pressure in golf might be imperceptible, but Charlie Woods makes it difficult to ignore. Every swing and putt he makes is observed, captured on video, and contrasted with his father, one of the best golfers in history. With the term father, parents and a few friends may be in the gallery for the majority of juniors. Charlie sees a wall of cameras, reporters, and admirers who are all anxious to find out whether he will become the next Tiger. That anticipation surrounds him rather than just following him. The spotlight is hotter than ever in the current age. The media cycle paused when Gary Nicklaus was under pressure in the 82nd. In between competitions, there were rest periods. These days, social media feeds, viral videos, and real-time discussion from millions of online voices provide the continual coverage. Within minutes, one outstanding photo might become a global trend. The same may be done in a single terrible round. There is nowhere to hide and no opportunity to grow covertly in the shadows. Nicklaus has admitted that this is a whole different battlefield. He is quick to compliment Charlie on his stunning golf swing and composure under duress, but he also raises doubts about the teenager's ability to fully comprehend the gravity of what lies ahead. It goes beyond just hitting fairways. It involves figuring out how to function in a setting where expectations, comparisons, and criticism are constant. These days, the mental game is played well beyond of the golf field. The irony is that the same obstacle Charlie faces is fueled by his own achievements. The headlines become greater the more victories he makes. The level of scrutiny increases with the size of the headlines. Depending on how it is handled, this cycle has the potential to either inspire or deplete. For Charlie, being an expert in his field will only be half the fight. Building the mental fortitude to bear the Woods name without allowing it to break him will be the other half. And it may be the biggest challenge of all. According to many who have already traveled this journey, raising a champion isn't the only goal for Tiger Woods. It's about his son's upbringing. He is the best person to understand how harsh the golf world can be, how easily compliments can turn into criticism, and how the demands of the game can take over a person's whole life. Tiger's message has so remained constant despite Charlie's triumph. Charlie should be left on his own. Enjoying the game is more important than winning. Tiger's job requires careful balance. In addition to his unparalleled expertise as a mentor, he is a parent who is aware of the dangers of pushing too hard too soon. Tiger carefully considers Charlie's competition location, balancing the demands of the field against the advantages of recuperation and development, rather than competing in every event. It's a plan designed to help you develop a long-lasting career, rather than simply short-term success. The goal includes protecting Charlie from needless distractions. Tiger tries to manage the intensity of the spotlight, even if it is hard to avoid it entirely. There are few interviews available, media chances are selective, and preparation and development, rather than publicity, are always prioritized. Tiger places just as much emphasis on preventing his kid from burning out as he does on helping him improve his skills. A mutual understanding between parent and son is at the center of everything. Since Charlie was old enough to hold a club, they have walked fairways together and experienced stressful situations together. Tiger's position is now changing from taking the lead at every turn to letting Charlie take the initiative as he enters the competitive world on his own. It's a journey characterized by pride, prudence, and the hope that Charlie will be equipped to create his own tale by the lessons Tiger learned throughout the most trying times of his career. Charlie Woods' true adventure is just getting started, even if the triumph may be in the books. This one has swung wide, and every victory opens doors. He will have the opportunity to compete against the world's top young players when invitations to prominent junior tournaments start to arrive. Every occasion serves as both a springboard and a spotlight, with each one either enhancing his expanding legacy or posing a challenge to him to preserve it. The chances that lie ahead are both thrilling and challenging. It is possible to be selected for national youth teams, compete in top amateur tournaments, and even have first dibs on professional events. However, the stakes are bigger, the opponents are more formidable, and the scrutiny is increased with each successive level. The mental game becomes just as crucial as the physical one, and the margin for mistake decreases. The biggest obstacle will be maintaining your sense of reality. Rapidly rising is one thing, but remaining there is quite another. Even the best athletes may be pushed to their limits by a mix of public expectations, media pressure, and personal desire. The secret for Charlie will be to maintain the traits that have gotten him this far: patience, self-control, and a passion for the game that surpasses the surrounding cacophony. The words of Jack Nicklaus continue to reverberate throughout the atmosphere. The path is difficult, and skill by itself won't suffice. Charlie's name will either become a lasting legacy in golf history, or only a glimpse of what might be because of his perseverance. humility, and capacity to ignore other influences. Additionally, Tiger's calm hand will lead him in the background, providing the viewpoint that only a father and a legend can provide. The golf community is undoubtedly keeping an eye on things. Charlie Woods has entered the arena for the first time. The issue today is not whether he can tolerate the attention, but rather how much longer he can endure its unrelenting scrutiny. The narrative is far from finished. Actually, it's just getting started.